Several islands make up our beautiful Caribbean, but not all islands are equal when it comes to emergency medical care. There is one here in the Caribbean where if your life is in danger, medical help may not arrive even if an ambulance shows up. David Begnaud traveled to Culebra, a tiny island just off of Puerto Rico's main island, to learn more on a warning that some of the video that you may see could be disturbing.
Puerto Rico's Flamenco Beach is considered among the world's best. Located on the island of Culebra, tourists flock here.
Between 500 and 700,000 visitors visit the island every year, and they come to this beach.
Attorney Julian Rivera Aspinall represents the family of Manny Ma of Boise, Idaho. The 62-year-old Ma drowned while snorkeling off this beach last December.
His wife found them floating out in the ocean. He was eventually pronounced dead, and unfortunately there wasn't any way of being able to save his life here at the beach.
There's been a grave danger here that the locals know all too well, but the visitors almost never do. If your life is in danger, help is almost non-existent. When we were there was not a single lifeguard on the beach. We did see this man using a whistle to keep people from going too far out into the surf. He says he's a volunteer, not paid, not trained. He just wants to help.
I'm thinking that I'm coming to this beautiful beach and I'm going to see a lifeguard or two here. I was surprised to see no lifeguards.
While we were there, we met Maria Linden and Julian Rivera from New York City, and they asked what we were working on. So I explained to them that not only did Flamenco Beach not have lifeguards, there was no one employed as a certified paramedic on the island. There's not even a working ambulance stocked with the supplies needed to save your life.
Before the two of you came here to visit Culebra, did you think for a moment whether or not there was a working ambulance?
No, you're just telling me this now. I'm stunned right now.
We wanted to speak with Culebra's mayor, Eldeberto Romero Yvet, to find out what's happening here. Just so I understand you clearly, you don't have an ambulance staffed 24 hours a day here in Culebra, correct?
Correcto. Correcto.
That's scary.
Sí.
Because your number one industry here is tourism.
Sí.
He's been the mayor here in Culebra for a little bit more than a year, and he says he's trying to change things, but the high cost of living on the island and a lack of certified personnel is making it extremely difficult to employ qualified medical professionals.
I need paramedics, I need a doctor, I need a technical emergency. I need that people come to work in Culebra.
While the mayor waits on the right people, back on Flamenco Beach, he is taking steps to make the beach safer, installing bilingual signs, red flags, and a lifeguard stand.
What do you think about that?
Well, that's progress. That's great. Again, I am very happy that the island of Culebra is eventually taking steps so that these types of accidents don't happen again. My client's accident was not the only accident that has occurred here.
Back in February of this year, Sharuja Paramanathan, her husband Thiva, and their kids traveled from Toronto to Flamenco Beach in Culebra for a vacation. That is when the unthinkable happened. Onlookers called 911 as Good Samaritans administered CPR to the 40-year-old father of three who they dragged out of the water. Witnesses say it took at least 30 minutes for an ambulance just to show up.
They're not emergency official. They're just two drivers, basically. That's what they are.
So this is essentially like a taxi.
Yep. Basically a taxi that says ambulance.
Wow. Do you feel like they did anything to try and save your husband's life?
No, it was just easy. I know it's another person for them. It was just easy. Sorry, that's all we could do.
Sharuja's husband died. Tomorrow you will hear more from her, and you're going to meet two of the Good Samaritans who tried to save her husband's life. You'll also hear directly from one of the ambulance drivers who arrived on the scene that day, and you'll hear from him what he did in his own words. And wait until you hear what happens when I said to him, well, in the States, we're used to this. What about here? It's a reaction you won't want to miss. Tomorrow on CBS Mornings. David Begnaud, CBS News, New York.